Your financial future is not built by willpower. It is built by what happens when your willpower fails. Americans saved just 4.2% of their disposable income in the third quarter of 2025, the lowest savings rate in nearly 2 years, and that number dropped from 6.2% just 18 months earlier, even as wages kept rising. Here is what that tells you. Earning more does not automatically translate into saving more. Between January 2020 and January 2024, average wages in the United States rose more than 21%. The personal savings rate fell during that same window. More money came in, more money went out, and the gap between what people earn and what they actually keep barely moved. That is not a math problem. It is a behavior problem. And the good news is, behavior can be redesigned. This is where the set it and forget it rule comes in. Not as a catchy phrase, but as a documented, research-backed approach to building wealth that works precisely because it removes you from the equation. The premise is simple. If you have to make the decision to save every single month, you will eventually talk yourself out of it. But if the decision is made once and executed automatically forever after, your financial life starts running in the background, compounding quietly while your conscious mind focuses on everything else. Think about it this way. The biggest enemy of long-term saving is not a lack of desire. Almost everyone wants to save more. The enemy is a psychological phenomenon behavioral economists call present bias, the brain's deeply wired tendency to treat today's needs as more urgent and more real than tomorrow's. Nobel Prize-winning economist Daniel Kahneman spent much of his career documenting how our minds systematically discount the future. We see $1,000 available right now, and $1,000 we could have 20 years from now, and our brains do not treat them anywhere close to equally. The future 1,000 feels abstract, almost theoretical. The present 1,000 feels like it belongs to us right now. This is not a character flaw. It is a feature of human cognition. Our ancestors needed to prioritize immediate survival over abstract future planning. That wiring helped them live through genuine scarcity. But it does a terrible job of navigating a world where the biggest threats to your financial life are not predators or food shortages. They are a streaming subscription you forget about, a car payment that stretches 4 years too long, and a raise that disappears into a slightly more comfortable lifestyle before you ever thought about investing it. The research on what actually overcomes present bias is remarkably consistent. It is not motivation, it is not discipline, it is structure. When the decision is removed entirely, when money moves automatically before you even see it, participation rates change dramatically. Vanguard's How America Saves report, based on data from nearly 5 million plan participants, found that employees at firms offering automatic enrollment saved 65% more than those at firms with voluntary enrollment. 65%. Same income levels, same market conditions, radically different outcomes driven entirely by whether the default was to save or not. And it goes further. When automatic enrollment is paired with automatic annual increases in the contribution rate, participants saved 20 to 30% more within 3 years compared to those who were only auto-enrolled at a fixed rate. The structure does the work. The behavior follows. Richard Thaler, the University of Chicago behavioral economist who received the Nobel Prize in Economics in 2017, studied this exact dynamic for years. He and Shlomo Benartzi developed a program called Save More Tomorrow, built specifically around the insight that people are far more willing to commit to saving a portion of a future raise than to save more of what they already have right now. In the first implementation of the program, 78% of employees who were offered it chose to join. Virtually everyone who joined stayed in through multiple pay raises. Average savings rates among participants climbed from 3.5% to 11.6% over just 28 months. Thaler did not change anyone's values or their desire to save. He changed the structure around the decision. So why does this matter for you personally, right now, in 2026? Because the same psychological machinery that wrecked those savings intentions is running in your head too. And the counter to it is the same system Thaler proved works. The moment you automate a savings or investment contribution, you have neutralized present bias. You have taken future you out of the hands of present you. And present you, it turns out, is a surprisingly unreliable financial manager. There is a second psychological trap that automation also neutralizes, and this one is quieter. Researchers at the National Bureau of Economic Research identified something called exponential growth bias, the tendency for people to mentally underestimate how compounding actually works. Most of us think about investment growth as roughly linear. Contribute a certain amount, earn a steady return, and the balance grows in a straight line. But compounding is not linear. It accelerates. And the people who build real long-term wealth are usually the ones who stumbled into an automated system early and then simply did not touch it. Not because they understood the math perfectly, but because the automation made inaction the default. Let's be real about the $100,000 number in the title of this video. The first 100,000 is famously the hardest milestone for most investors, not because the math changes after that point, but because in the early years, the contributions you are making represent almost all of the growth. At $100,000, even a modest year of returns adds more to your balance than most people save in a year. After that, compounding starts doing work on your behalf that begins to dwarf your manual contributions. Getting to that first major milestone with the smallest amount of friction and the fewest decisions is the entire game. And most Americans are nowhere close to being on track. The median retirement account balance across the country is $87,000, and the median emergency savings, what people have available for immediate financial disruptions, is just $600, according to a 2025 survey by Empower. 37% of Americans say they could not cover an emergency expense over $400. 21% have no emergency savings at all. These numbers exist alongside rising wages. The missing variable is not income. It is the system, or the absence of one. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, makes a point that connects directly here. He writes that you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Most people set a goal to save more, then trust themselves to execute it manually every month. Every month is a new decision point. Every month that decision competes with rent, groceries, car insurance, a friend's birthday dinner, a minor emergency. Automation eliminates the decision. It creates what Clear calls an identity-based habit, not a goal you are chasing, but a behavior that now defines how your financial life runs by default. Here is the concrete step you can take this week, and this is the part that actually changes things. Open or log into your employer's retirement plan and raise your contribution rate by 2%. If you are not yet enrolled, enroll today at whatever rate the plan defaults you to, then immediately raise it. If your employer does not offer a retirement plan, open a Roth IRA with any major brokerage, Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, and set up an automatic monthly transfer on the same date every month, the day your paycheck clears. Start at $50 if that is all you can commit to without feeling it. The amount matters less at the beginning than the automation itself. What you are building in the first step is not wealth. It is the habit architecture that makes wealth possible. Then, every single time you receive a raise, increase your automated contribution before that new income ever hits your checking account. Do it the same week. Do it in the same sitting where you update your direct deposit information. Most people spend a raise before they save $1 of it. Thaler's research proved the reverse. Committing to save future raises before you ever feel entitled to spend them is one of the highest leverage financial moves available to a working American. One more thing to get out of the way, because it comes up every time this conversation happens. The objection is usually some version of, "What if I need that money?" Automation does not mean locking every dollar away forever. It means separating your long-term building money from your spending money by default and making yourself take a deliberate action if you want to reverse that. That friction is your friend. Most people never bother to reverse it. The money stays in. The compounding continues. The 100,000 gets closer. The single shift that matters here is moving from saving whatever is left over to automatically investing before you can spend. That one reversal, from saving last to saving first, is where the arc of your financial life actually bends. At Next Gen Finance, every video on this channel is built around exactly that kind of shift. The behavioral, psychological, and systems-level changes that separate people who mean to build wealth from people who actually do. Subscribing gives you access to a growing library of research-backed content designed to help you think differently about money, and take more effective action with whatever you currently have. Leave a comment below and tell me something specific. Do you have any automated savings or investments set up right now? And if not, what is the one thing that has kept you from doing it? I genuinely want to understand where the friction is. I read every comment, and the answers shape what this channel covers next. This video is for educational purposes only and is not financial or investment advice. Please do your own research and consult a licensed financial professional before making any financial decisions.